Asking for a different kind of woman is actually a lot to ask for these days, and all you're really asking for is a woman that is not the town bicycle, that hasn't been with everybody in sight, and somebody that is actually going to be able to contribute to the household with skills like maybe sewing or cooking or something, just little things. You're not asking for her to build rocket ships or anything like that, but it seems like it's a lot to ask for. And women, if they're not careful, they're going to find themselves alone and broke more in the future, I would say within the next 5 to 10 years, more so than at any point in history. And the reason for that is because women are pushing away good men. They're pushing away good men, and I saw this post from a woman on X, and she is newly divorced, and she had not really had a lot of social media, but she posted one photo on Instagram that ended up getting about 20,000 likes. And she realized that she was worth more than the man that she's been with for years, that's taken care of her, that's gone on vacations with her, that's taken care of the kids and all that. All of a sudden, he's just not enough. So, if we live in a world where a marriage is only 20,000 likes away from a divorce, how is this going to shape the society that we grow into in the near future? What's going to happen here? Because there's only a few different kinds of possibilities that I foresee that are going to occur. But something that I was thinking about is you can't really go overseas. I know a lot of people will disagree with me on this because we've even had this kind of discussion in the Regal Change Academy where, should you go overseas? Should you start being a passport bro or whatever? And I don't think that's the right idea because number one is, in a way, you're kind of running from your problems. And I know that some people might disagree with that perspective. They might say that, well, it's not running from the problems. It's just going to where there's actually stuff to go. Like it's like the marketplace, right? If somebody's selling apples and you want oranges, you're going to go where you get oranges, not where you get apples. And I can totally understand that perspective, and I can totally understand where you're coming from with that. But at the same time, female nature is female nature. If you expect female nature to be different somewhere else, you're gravely mistaken. The only thing that's going to really change in these other countries or whatever that you're going to is likely the principles or values that are being instilled into the women. And even then, I've met women in the past that are claiming to be virtuous, that are claiming to be principled, that act like it for the most part. But I know that if I turned on the godly bad boy charm that I wanted to, and if I wanted to, rather, I could have done anything I wanted with this woman because I knew she was sexually attracted to me. The thing is when you know that you're sexually attractive to a woman, that she wants you to some degree, there's really not much else you have to do. But the problem is nowadays, women are so used to opening themselves up to everybody that their souls are empty, their spirits are void, their brains are fried, and their bodies are just not responding well. You know how many autoimmune disorders and autoimmune diseases and all that I've seen women have more recently? I even heard about it, talking about it at the gym with some people. They were, this trainer talked to a while back, he was talking about how the women have a lot of autoimmune diseases and autoimmune disorders and all that. And I said, well, what's their spirituality like? You know, what is it like for their spirit? Like, what is happening internally? Because oftentimes the kind of diseases that we have, the kind of things that are happening in our lives, we are going to experience that. Like, the body is going to reveal certain things unto you. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the body is going to, if the pain is too severe in your spirit, your body's going to have a reaction down the line. This is proven. This is stress that can be stored in the nervous system, and this is one of the reasons why people like to develop cancer or something like that, right? Like, I know this person in my community, and he has cancer, and it's in a very, it's a male organ cancer, okay? And he's got testicular cancer, and I can tell that this guy's a good guy. You know, he's a good, solid dude. However, I also think that there's a lot of spirituality stuff that he's missing in his life, from what I've talked to him about. And, there's a few other guys that I know that have this kind of cancer in the community, and I'm curious because it's like, well, what exactly is happening internally for them to get to this point, right? What exactly is happening on the inside for them to get to this? Well, it's the fact that they don't have, like, they've basically given away their balls. They've basically given away their power so much to where now it's reflected into their actions. It's reflected into their being. It's reflected into their physical. And so now you see women more so than ever before are depressed. They're taking like 25 to 50% of women are on antidepressants in the United States. That's insane, considering 50 years ago it was practically none. Well, what does this say about the state of affairs? Well, number one is not everybody that's on an antidepressant needs to be on an antidepressant. And this is also something we've talked about in the Regal Change Academy in the Maps of the Psyche class. But also it's that women are generally very uncomfortable, and they don't like the fact that they are going to have to choose whether to have a career and be unhappy and lonely, but have a lot of money, because I know a lot of women that are making a lot of money, or they're going to have to decide to have a family and not really have the career and maybe live in a not so luxurious kind of lifestyle, because in today's day and age, even if you're a man making decent money, because of the way that the workforce is set up, you still need multiple people working in the household in order to, or you need to have multiple incomes, which is something that I would recommend every man do, is to have multiple streams of income. So that way, even if you do lose your job or something happens with your main job, your 9 to 5 or whatever it is that you're doing, then you'll have more backup on the side. So at least you still have a cash flow coming in. You're not just, SOL. And this is where a lot of women don't want to make this decision. They just don't want to make this decision, and that's why they're pushing all the good men away. They're pushing the good men away because they don't want to make the decision to be a wife or to be a career woman. They want it all. They literally want it all. And Kevin Samuels, rest his soul, has even talked to women like this in the past, where she says, well, I'm 28 and I have 2 kids, and they're both from different baby daddies, and they're 4 years old or whatever, and the other one's 2 years old, and I want a high value man. And it's just like, lady, what in the hell kind of world do you live in that makes you think you deserve a high value man that's making, and she said, well, he probably needs to make like $400,000 a year. Are you like, this is insane. This is absolutely insane that we've given women free reign for one time too many. Ever really since the sexual liberation movement, it seems like things have just gotten worse and worse in our society. And now everything's out in the open. Women are exposing themselves daily with this kind of stuff. And yet there are still simps that refuse to develop self-respect, that are not capable of walking away from these kinds of women. Do you know what's crazy? I have more women than ever that want to be a part of my life, that are attractive on the outside, that if I was the man I was 5-10 years ago, yeah, I would be all over this kind of stuff. I'd be all over it, but I'm not. And it's because that I have myself together to some degree. I know where I'm going. I have a path, and I'm creating it and I'm forging it as I go. I'm not the richest person in the world materialistically, but I know that I'm rich in my soul. And I know that my spirit elevates women. Like my love, my kind of love for women, it does more than elevate them. My kind of love for women, it gives them a kind of pleasure in their soul that they've never experienced before. I've literally had dreams where women tell me that I've been in like talking stages with. Because the dream is and I know like people say, oh, that's in your dreams. It's like, no. No, you don't understand what dreams are then. I've literally had women tell me in my dreams that I'm the best lover that they ever had and we've never kissed yet. I've literally had this kind of stuff been told to me in my dreams by women. And it feels like a message from the woman, right? And I know that women are thinking about me like this. And especially when I see her, it's like, I see a woman that she knows I'm capable of breaking her heart. I don't want to break a woman's heart. I don't like to. I really don't have the temperament to most of the time. I really don't like having to reject women. I don't. But I'm at a point now to where I am rejecting more women than ever before. And why is that? It's not that I want to. Like, I don't want to do this. They're literally pushing me to do this. I'm being forced to not play the game. The only way that I can win this game that they want to play is by not playing this game. If I don't play the game, then I'll keep my dignity, I'll keep my integrity, and I won't have to sacrifice anything unnecessarily. It's a bummer. Like, it's a bummer that it has to be this way, but there really isn't much other choice that we have as men. Us good men in the world that actually want a family, that want to take care of a woman, that want to give her a family. Like, because here's the thing, right? Think about all of the women. Like, I don't know any woman between the ages of like 25 to 40 right now that can go home and have people, ready to see them, excited to see them. I don't know anybody like that is ages 25 to 40 for women anymore. I really don't. And not all of it is like of course, like, women aren't the whole entire blame here, right? I'm not trying to place blame. I'm not trying to be a victim in this video either. I'm just saying that this is what's happening, and this is why it's happening. And I'm wanting to get at the deeper spirituality of this too, and why it's happening, because if we don't understand the spiritual implications of why this kind of stuff is happening, then it's going to be very challenging for us to actually even move forward to begin with. If we don't, because here's the thing about healing. Women especially are they're addicted to healing. That's like a weird trauma response, But anyway, that's another story. But healing can only happen by trying to understand it. Not running from it, not rejecting it, just understanding it. And so when I say, there's a difference between rejecting people for your life because you want to protect your energy, and then there's also a difference between you doing that, and then also rejecting situations that are going to put you in a compromising position. And this is what women seem to want men to be in, is a compromising position. They want men to be in a compromising position in which they have little to no responsibility. They have maximization of the authority for the relationship, and yet the man, like, you know how many men are not seen as human? This is one of the weirdest things that I experienced, as I started to grow more and more sexually attractive and more into my own man, because I was practically invisible to women for 2 decades. And one of the biggest things that happened was that I noticed that women only see men that they're attracted to as human. Like, seriously. And that was a scary thing for me to realize, because I really didn't like women like that then. When I realized that, I was kind of irritated. I was like, God, why did you make women like this? What in the world? Why are you doing this? But now I'm not bitter about it. I'm not angry about it. But we do need to understand why this is. Well, why is it then? Well, it's because that's how they survive. Literally, women love the survival of the fittest game. They're designed for it. And they have to be. They have to. How else are their offspring going to survive? So what I'm trying to get at here is women are pushing away good men. It's not entirely their fault, because a lot of this has been ideological subversion. But also, women shot this fire first. They are the ones that struck first blood on this topic. And men are now realizing, like, oh, this is the kind of tour you want to go on. Okay, buckle up, sister, because we're going to be in the driver's seat whether you like it or not, because that's the way God made us. God made men to be in the driver's seat. So no matter how much you want to be in the driver's seat, ladies, and I'm not degrading you if you want to go out and get a career and be an independent woman and all that, but if you want to be doing that and have a family and be the authority in your relationship, you are going against what God has designed. So, with all that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful for people out there. If you do want to join the Regal Change Academy, where we have an elite group of spiritual people that are building their minds, bodies, and souls each and every day, go check that out in the link in the description box below. We are doing a weekly Maps of the Psyche call, a weekly Regal Assembly call, and a weekly Bible study, as well as a bunch of other classes and resources available for you. These are all designed, this is not the end all be all, okay, but they're building blocks for your spiritual path and for practical life as well. And I also want to recommend anybody that's getting value from this, if they want to participate in the free Telegram group chat for the Regal Change Insights channel, check out the Telegram link in the description box below. And then I also want to appreciate everybody moving from the YouTube platform over to X, Rumble, and Instagram. I appreciate everybody's extra support there. Peace be with you. Until next time.